Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Juliana and I am a part-time Poshmark reseller. I've been doing this for about 2 years, and today I'm going to show you how to start your own Poshmark business. I've actually had quite a few people ask me a lot of specific questions, so I'm going to be doing a couple of different videos. I'm going to start off with how to set up a Poshmark and then the basics of how it works. And I'll come back with a couple of videos about some of the best tips and tricks I've learned, how to do certain things and stuff like that. So we're going to start today with, so I use Poshmark on my phone or my iPad. My iPad is generally just for work stuff, so I really mostly do Poshmark on here, but I also do it on my phone when I'm out and about. But I have the Poshmark app. It is also possible to do it from a computer, and it looks a little bit different on different platforms, but generally it's all the same thing. If you have any specific questions that I don't cover about how to sign up, feel free to reach out to me and I will try to help you through whatever I can. So the first thing that you are going to want to do is to choose a way to sign up. Well, I guess you have to sign up with an email to begin with because they have to have a viable email. I already have it all set up, so I won't need to do that. I will put my link down below if you'd like to use that when you sign up. If you're signing up for the first time, it will give, I think we both get $10. So, you know, free $10, why not? So I'm just going to log myself in here. I already have all my info in there, so log in. And the first page that it's going to bring you to is what's called your feed. So any person that you follow, their stuff and their shares will all show up on your feed. You'll also see brands that you commonly look at will show up on your feed, items that you've liked will show up on your feed, and suggestions for similar items to ones that you've looked up will show up on your feed. So that's something to be aware of, and this is the feed, it says down here. And then the next one is the shop section. So this is where you can shop by person, you can search for certain people up here, you can shop by brand. These are items that I've liked previously and I can shop through things that I've liked, things that I've viewed recently. There's different showrooms. You can shop by item, by size, for who it's for. So there's like a kids and a men's one. There's a home section. You can shop the different sections of home. And what's also down here is the parties. So every day there are 4 parties and every party has a theme. We can talk more about parties later, but I think that if you aren't really sure what to get started with and what brands to be looking for to sell and stuff like that, if you're selling for more than just cleaning out your closet, one of the things to look at is if you look at the different parties, they each have a theme, and you can look into the party some more and it will give you a breakdown of all of the brands that are in that party. And every party has different sets of brands, but that is a good start for popular brands right now, ones that would be that are selling really well, and there's party themed for, so that's something to think about. We're gonna skip the middle one for now, but there's a news section which just tells you, like, you know, who's liked your stuff, who's following you, who added something to a bundle, when something you've liked is the price is lowered or goes on sale, or someone sends you an offer on something, the invitations from Poshmark to the daily parties. You can edit what you see in here in your profile settings, but this is just kind of what shows up in your news feed. So the other feed is, this is your personal feed, no one else sees this, but it has the breakdown. There's your closet, your likes, bundles. This is all the main stuff that you want to know about your profile, your size, your recent views. There's also my purchases and the ways you want to pay. And then there's my sales, so the sales you make, my balance, how much money you have. My Posh Stats is where you can see how many sales you've made, how many sales are available, how many you've sold, your average days to ship, your average ratings, stuff like that. And then there's also the seller tools tab, which is really helpful because this has your sales report, which you need for taxes if you make over a certain amount. I'm really not sure what that amount is. You'd have to talk to a tax professional about that, because that is not my thing. So it also allows you to give discounts. So if people add 2 items to your bundle, you can give them 10% off, or however you would like to do that. So if they're buying more than 1 item, giving them a discount, which is encouragement for them to build bundles to buy multiple items. It also helps them save on shipping too, because they're paying shipping as a total fee, not by item, which is sometimes a very good selling point. There's also the vacation hold. This is what you will want to do if you are going out of town, or if you aren't able to ship for a while, or whatever. You want to turn your closet off so that no one can make purchases, so that you're not marked down for that. There's also some like boutique stuff here. I don't do the wholesale in the boutique, but that is an option if you are interested in it. So I'm just gonna show you, this is actually, I actually have 2 closets. I have my regular sales closet, which is Revived Threads, and then I have my Salmon Oakley closet, which is my kids only closet. So all I sell is kids clothing and maternity wear in that closet, and that's this one. So if you push my closet, then it shows you all of these are all the things I have for sale. So I'm gonna walk you guys through how you would list something. So I use generally my phone. I take pictures on my dining room table. There's people that they purchase light boxes and do it that way. People take the photos outdoors so they get the natural lighting. You find a spot on your wall, hang a hanger, and take photos that way. Purchasing a background, using a background you already have. You can kind of do it however, but I would suggest trying to take the clearest photos possible, because the photos are what is selling your item. You can say the brand and what it is, but if people can't see it, they won't buy it. So I choose to do flat lay photos, just because I feel like I can get better. Nothing like hangs down, like people can see all of the parts of it, whereas like you couldn't see the feet on this, which I think are an important thing to show if I was hanging it. So a lot of people do use hanging photos instead of flat lay photos. This is just what I prefer, and I like the way it looks better. I like being able to see all of the different aspects, and it's not to say that you couldn't do that with a hanging photo. This is just my preference. So to sell an item, you'll want to take photos. Poshmark allows up to 8 photos to be posted on their items, on the listings. So I would go to sell. I already have some. Because I use Apple products, I can very easily airdrop from one item to another. So I take all my photos on my phone, but I don't store them on my phone. I store them on my iPad, so that my phone can be freed up for other photos that I want. So I would go to this little folder, and this is where all my photos are, and I am just going to list. We'll just list, let's see, here we go. We've got a pair of, actually I'm gonna do these ones. We have a pair of brown fleece kids sweatpants, size 18 to 24 months. So the nicest thing about doing kids clothes is that up to 24 months, you don't have to choose whether it's boys or girls. I tend to have a problem with that with some things, with some athletic gear, or t-shirts. It's hard to tell if it's men's. With some of the kids clothes, it could be for either a boy or a girl, so it's just kind of a really nice aspect. So you can go through all of your photos and center them the way you want. I'm just making sure that they're all in the photo. Next. And then from here, there's a slide that says select cover shot. You can do that there. You can also do it here. You can move around your photos. Like if there's any damages on any of my items that I'm listing, I generally try to put that as the last photo so that I can type into the description box, see last photo. So for these, I like to label with the brand first. So Old Navy, And then I'm gonna write in fleece sweatpants. And then I copy from up there, and all of my kids' closet is everything is part of a bundle, so I always put in like a bundle size. But then I go down to my description right here, and I'm going to, come on, there we go, I'm going to paste my title. So then I go back in, and if I need to add anything to that, since you're only allowed so many characters in the title, I try to give a description using as many characters as possible in my title. But then I'll come back in and say Old Navy brown elastic waist sweatpants. I also like to, or fleece sweatpants, sorry. I also make sure that when I am taking my photos, I take pictures of the size tag and of the fabric content tag. A lot of times people will ask you what the fabric content is, and if there's a case open saying that it was the wrong size, because sometimes that happens, you have at least a photo showing that, hey, I did show you what the correct size was, like, I'm sorry it doesn't fit you. But the nice thing about Poshmark is they don't do returns based on fit. So if someone gets something and they say, oh man, this doesn't fit me right, Poshmark's not going to say, oh, you're sorry, return it and you'll get your money back. It's not that kind of item. People are welcome to ask for measurements, they're welcome to ask for more photos, anything like that, but people will try and be sneaky still and try and return it for other things when it doesn't fit them. But they don't allow returns for fit, which is nice. So I also, in my description, like to put the size so that it's just in multiple places. So for this one, it is 18 to 24 months. And I like to encourage bundling. So I always tell people bundle multiple items for better savings. So there's that, making sure I have all of that right. So then the next thing you do is the category. There's different categories. So the things about categories is there's a women's section, men's, kids, and home. So obviously mine is kids, so I'm going to choose kids. You have to be careful about that, because sometimes if you're moving too quickly and you select pants from women's and list them in as women's pants, size 18 to 24 months, they're obviously no one going to be purchasing them, because that's not what they're searching for. So just kids, bottoms, sweatpants. I only have one of them, so for quantity I put one. If you have multiples, you can list the multiple, and then that way you only have to make one listing for multiple items. And as long as they are the exact same item in the exact same condition, you can make a listing with multiple, and they can be different sizes or different colors, but they have to be the same item in the same condition. They can't be similar items, different brands in the same condition. They have to be the same item in the same condition. They can be different colors or sizes, and you can change all of that in here, but they have to be the same item and the same condition. So for sizing, I'm gonna go ahead and click this. One of the things to notice in sizing is they have, at least for kids, they have baby, they have girls, they have boys, and they have custom. So if it's not a size that they have in there, you can make your own size. It's not as searchable that way, so definitely try and find sizes. If it's a brand that doesn't have typical sizing, like for say Hannah Anderson, what I like to do is I get a Hannah Anderson sizing chart. I add it as a photo into my listing. You can find them online, just look it up. I take a screenshot of that, save it as a photo, put it in my listing, and then that way I can list what Hannah Anderson claims their size 70 is equivalent to. So I can put the equivalent size in for the size, and then I can say see size chart for exact sizing. So that is always an option as well. The brand just goes right in here. You don't have to put a brand, it is an optional thing. So if something does not have a brand, the brand is unreadable, you can totally not put the brand, that's okay. Same with color, you don't have to put the color because they only have very basic colors. So sometimes if I have something that's like maroon or like a turquoise color, I don't choose a color because some people's ideas of those colors are different. If it's obviously brown or if it's obviously a blue, like a shade of blue, I put blue. But I don't put things that are like in between colors because people just get angry and they're like, this isn't maroon, this is a deep, deep purple or a shade of brown. So I just, if I can't with 100% certainty say this is the shade of this color, then I just don't choose a color and let people make their own decisions. My photos are pretty accurate. That's one of the nice things about having accurate photos, is that you can see the color of the item in my photos. And so if people try and take comparative photos that say like, oh, this wasn't the color shown, like it's going to match my colors because I don't use filters that change the color of my items or anything like that. So there's an option for you to push if it's new with tags or not. Mine is not. The original price, you can put an original price. I choose to just put 0. Sometimes if it's a very high-end item, it helps to put the original price because people can see the discount they're getting. They do like you to put the original price. You do have to put some price, but I tend to just put 0. I know there's some people that just put 99. There's some people that just put 1, you know. If you know the actual price, because I get so many things from so many different sources, I don't always know the actual price and I don't want to be lying, essentially. So that's that, and then you'll go up here you'll add the price that you want for the item. It'll show you what you will make if that item sells. You'll push next, and then you will push list. And now if you go back over here to this little tab down here, you choose my closet, the item is now in your closet. So one thing I do suggest before listing things is if you're not, because I know Poshmark, I know what generally things are selling for, but if I ever don't know what things are selling for, I would go to the shop section down here and I would type in what I'm looking for, and if it's men's, women's, kids, etc., and see kind of what other things are sold for. So like if I were to put in American Eagle skinny jeans. So I'm just going to type in all of that, put as much of a description as I can, looking under women's, and then it'll show me all of these and what they're selling for. Now, if you want to see what the past ones that have already sold are going for, you take this top bar, scroll all the way this way, and then it'll say availability. If you push that and you go down to sold items, it shows you what they've sold for when they what they've actually sold for versus what they're listed for. So a lot of them are listed for $30, but it looks like a lot of them are only going for 10 to 15. There's a pair that went for 20. There's a pair that went for 5. There's a pair here that went for 35. So it looks like it's a little bit all over the board, but just kind of thinking about that. So don't go listing your American Eagle like new skinny jeans for $45 because that's not gonna go. It's not gonna sell for $40, so it's not even worth your time. It'll sit there for a long time. You'll end up sharing it a lot. You'll end up storing it a lot, and so it's not actually making you any money. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're listing items, is to kind of set a price point that is relative to what it is selling for currently. The last thing I want to show you is Poshmark is a very social site. So the way you sell your items, once you have them listed, you can't just walk away and never look at them again. That's not how Poshmark works. That's not how Poshmark sellers make money. So you have to, down here, there's a like button to see how many people have liked it. There's a comment button that people can comment on. There's all the basic info. They can click into it to see more, but you have to share your items. Now, I suggest sharing every item in your closet at least once per day. If you can do it more than once, awesome. If you can only do it every other day, you know, it is what it is. For a lot of people, this is just a side hustle, and that's totally okay. But if you do not share your items, they will get further and further and further down in the searches. People won't see them. They won't be put in people's faces. They won't get shared. They won't be seen. So you have to share your items. So if there's a party going, you'll see this where right now there's a best in shoes party going. Obviously that's not a shoe item, so it won't even let me share there if I wanted to. You just want to share to my followers. So that's all you have to do, but you have to do it to all of your items individually. And that is how you are going to make money. If you just list them and that's it, you're not actually going to make money off of it. It's not really worth your time. If you would rather sell lots of items at once, you just need to make sure that they are under the 5-pound cutoff, and then you can share bundles of items if you'd like to sell your items more quickly. Just know that if you're trying to sell a bundle of things that are just all over the board crazy, like if there's a small and 2 extra larges and a medium, unless you're selling to resellers at a reseller price point, which is anywhere from $2 to $6 an item, your item probably won't sell in that crazy size range. So just keep that in mind when you're selling. Just remember, like, if you were shopping, would you be shopping for something that's a small and a large and an extra large because they're all cute together? Or would you be shopping for all small items that are all similar? So maybe all small athletic gear or all large grungy t-shirts. Maybe that's your thing. So just kind of remember that when sharing. I guess there's one other thing is, this is where you can see how many people are following you, and this is how you can see how many people you are following. There's information from either side saying that followers and following make a difference on how many sales you make. I don't relatively believe that because I don't have very many followers on this page, and I make plenty of sales on this page, whereas my other closet has a lot of followers and I still get just about as many sales as I do from this page, or from this closet. So just something to keep in mind. It's maybe not a great use of your time to follow a ton of people. So that's all for today. I will get more into bundling and photographing and different things like that as time goes on. And if you have any questions, or if there's anything about Poshmark that is really confusing to you, maybe you've tried to sell before and have just quit because it's too confusing, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you and we can figure it out together if I don't know the answer. So thanks again, guys, and I hope this was helpful, and I hope this helps you sell on Poshmark. Bye, guys.